Okay, we are live.
All right. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. Oh, I'm getting an echo back.
Could everyone just mute for now?
Thank you. My name is Linda McFadden. I'm the chair of this hearing. Joining me on the panel are Jeff Peach and Carrie Linklater, both on Zoom. Our assessor this morning is Arka Adarkanov, and our hearing secretary is Stephen Lunn. Stephen, I don't think we have anyone else, any applicants on Zoom this morning?
We do not.
Okay. We'll be hearing applications for revision of the assessment in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the Board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant before swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony, followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all of the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after the applications have been heard, and the Board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the Board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We'll be hearing items 1 through 3 and 5 through 7 on our docket today. Mr. Lunn, will you please affirm the assessor's and the applicant's testimony?
Mr. Assessor, please state your full name.
Arka Aidarkhanov.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I affirm.
Thank you. And Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Marcelo Navarro.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you very much. Okay, the first item on our docket today is 15 Barnes. Are there any preliminary items that need to be addressed? I don't believe so.
Well, yeah, I just want to state that I think we have agreed with an applicant for a number of values on this docket, so I'll be making quite a few recommendations.
Wonderful. Good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Would you like to go ahead with 15 Barnes, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Board of Revision file number 221450, applicant Altus Group Limited, roll number 0309144760, address 15 Barnes Street, owner the Manitoba Public Insurance Corporation. Appeal year 2023, reference date April 1st, 2021, assessed value $10,023,000. Classification 60, liability is grantable. There is a recommendation for this for this file to change the assessed value to $9,200,000.
$9,200,000.
Yes.
And Marcella, how do you feel about that?
We're good with that. Thank you.
You're good with that? Okay. Thank you very much. Panel, do you have any questions of anyone? No. No? Okay. Thank you. We'll move on to 1110 Chevrier Boulevard, Arca.
Okay. File number 222922, applicant Altos Group Limited. Roll number 0306 5959 000. Okay, I just want to make sure I read it right. I'll read it again just in case. So roll number 0306 5959 000. Address 1110 Chevrier Boulevard. Owners Barry N. and Sonia V. Sawatsky. Roll year 2023. Reference date April 1st, 2021. Assessed value is $359,000. Classification 60. Liability taxable. There is a recommendation to change the assessed value to $290,000.
$290,000. Marcella?
That's good.
That's good.
Yep.
Are there any questions, panel? Hearing
Yes,
none.
I have a question.
All
Sorry.
right. No, go right
I'm
ahead.
I'm just wondering what that recommendation is based on, Arca?
Okay. Just pull it up here.
Sorry, I should be asking that. My brain is only half in gear today.
Oh, well, you poor thing. I can't believe how sick
Okay.
you are.
The recommendation is based on using a rent of $11 per square foot. And let me just double check if I believe, and the cap rate of 7.5.
7.5.
So
Okay, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Moving on to number 3, 1118 Chevrier Boulevard. Arca, please.
okay.
Well, this one I think has a preliminary matter, does it?
118 Chevrier shouldn't.
No? Okay.
So just make sure we are on the same page. So file 2217 1739, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I have it wrong in my notes, sorry.
Okay. So file number 221739, roll number 0306 5957 000. Address 1118 Chevrier Boulevard. Owner GR Heidemann Enterprises Limited. Roll year 2023. Reference date April 1st, 2021. Assessed value $611,000. Classification 60. Liability taxable. It is a recommendation to change the assessed value to $535,000.
That's $535,000?
Yes.
And that's based on?
Okay. A rent of $12 per square foot. Cap rate of 6.28.
6.28?
Yep.
Okay. And Marcella?
We will accept it.
You'll accept that?
Yeah.
And panel, do you have any questions?
Not.
I have no questions, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, number 4 is not here. Moving on to number 5, which is 1761 Pembina Highway, I believe.
Okay. So file number 22854. Applicant Altos Group Limited. Roll number 030654900000. Address 1761 Pembina Highway. Owners 1121695 Alberta Limited. Roll year 2023. Reference date April 1st, 2021. Assessed value $4,101,000. Classification 60, liability taxable. There is a recommendation to change the assessed value to $3,748,000.
And what's that based on, please?
Okay, now give me a second to
Certainly.
get to that point. Okay, so I can't go over specifics. Basically, we have adjusted the rent per square foot. So let me just, should I give you total number or specify each PID? Okay, so there is four. Probably let's do a blended rate. So leasable area 23,480 square feet.
Okay,
Blended rate $13.56 per square foot.
okay,
I guess 2% vacancy, 3% expenses, $6 shortfall, and $8 cap rate.
okay, the NOI is,
Okay. So NOI is hold on just a second. 299,000, basically 300,000 rounded.
okay, all right, so basically you came to the same place where the applicant was then,
Most
correct?
likely, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Marcella,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, number 6 is, oh, sorry, do you have any questions, panel?
Probably not.
Okay,
I have no questions.
thank you. 3357 Pembina, number 6. Please go ahead.
Okay, so this one, file number 222470.
Right,
Applicant Altos Group Limited, roll number 0309-166-0800. Address 3357 Pembina Highway. Owners Red River Corp Limited. Roll year 2023. Reference date April 1st, 2021. Assessed value $3,248,000. Okay, classification 60, liability taxable. So this one, I guess there is no recommendation for this property. So,
okay,
so it's a 2008 year build. Property with a land area of 94,438 square feet, plan area of 5,572 square feet. What we are looking at is a gas station in St. Norbert, so south of perimeter on Pembina Highway. And the gas station consists of car wash as well as a convenience store. So on page 2, the panel can see the aerial view as well as some street views of the gas station. Bottom picture shows on the left side is a car wash, and on the right side is a convenience store with the canopy and the pumps. So page 4 is rent comparable. So we have 14 comparable rents, which is very typical to the gas station comparables that the city of Winnipeg is using. And over there, you can basically what we arrive at is a mean and median of $56, mean of $56.28 per square foot, and the median of $32.32 per square foot. Some of the comparables there have both car wash and gas stations. So that would be comparable number 9. No, sorry, did I say? Yeah, comparable number 9. And comparable number 3 is and comparable number 10 are just car washes. And the rest of the comparables are just convenience stores without a car wash. So again, what we're looking at for subject properties on page number 5, 2,957 square feet of just a second, I need to pull it up on my screen here just to make sure. Okay. Okay, so 2,957 square feet of a kiosk at the rate of $41.29 per square foot. Applying 2% vacancy loss and 3% expenses and the $6 shortfall, we arrive at net operating income of $115,708. Capitalization rate is 5.35%. And the cost of additional building values are $703,000. Total value for the kiosk, $2,866,000, to which we have to add the value of the car wash, which is on page 6. Page 6, we have a car wash at 2,615 square feet. We apply a rate of $10.41 per square foot. Vacancy loss of 2%, expenses 3%, shortfall $6, and capitalization rate of 6.7, with total value of $382,000. Page 7 provides a breakdown of what is added as $703,000 of additional bidding values, which is very typical for gas stations. That would be your fuel tanks, the cost of canopies, the cost of in-ground tanks to hold the fuel. So all of the cost of all of those things typically added to the as an additional building value. So page 8 just basically provides a summary of both income streams. So income stream for a kiosk as income stream 1 and income stream for car wash as income stream 2, with total assessed value of $3,248,000. Okay, so page 9 gives a chart of the cap rates that city has, and we typically using suburban B office for this set. So and I mean 20s and 80th percentiles typically go to 5.6 and 6.9%, which is more or less in line with other cap rate studies done by Colliers, CBRE, and Cushman and Wakefield. Okay, following pages 11, 12, and 13 is an income and expense mailer that is sent to the city of Winnipeg by the property owner. It's partially owner occupied and shows a gross rent in place. And the pages 15 till the end are actual pictures of the car washes gas stations and car washes that are being used as comparable. So they're broken down one comparable per page. And if panel would like to take a look at more in detail to any of the comparables there, they can definitely go back to the back and look at the pictures provided by for all of those comparables. Let's see what else. And comparable 9 is on page 26, which is Shell gas station. And it's a very similar setup as the subject property. So that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Marcelo, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. So the questions pertain specifically to the rent comparables that you have here and the model itself and their relation to the model. So in observing your rent comparables, I note that there is a difference in terms of the rental rates of the smaller kiosks versus the larger gas stations, which have the C-stores and sometimes the car washes. And would you agree that there is a difference in terms of the rate per square foot based on those distinctions?
I guess the question was difference on rate per square foot based on what distinctions?
That would be on the smaller kiosks that say are under in and around 500 square feet versus the ones that have the C-stores and the car washes.
Well, there is a different rate per square foot.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but I guess I still not quite sure exactly what was your question.
So the rate per square foot is essentially rising as these properties are getting smaller and smaller, correct?
Oh, you mean like the actual improvements, right? Like kiosk itself, right? Yeah. Yes, it does.
Okay.
Typically it does. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So if you target specifically the SKP, and those are the ones which have the C-stores, and then there are some, there is one SKP with a VCW, which I assume is a car wash. If we isolate those, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which have an average of 27.45 per square foot. And the model is predicting 41.29. Do you think that the model has overshot the rent based on your own comparables?
Okay, so you're looking at the SKPs, right?
Yeah, so that would be index 1, 4, 6, 9, 11, and 12.
Okay.
Have an average of 27.45.
Okay, I see what you mean. So I guess to say that the rent of 41.29 in comparison to the comparables you just mentioned, which is 1, 4, 6, 11 and 12 would probably be like if subject property would have just had a kiosk, probably perhaps the model would have treated it a bit differently, but in a way that you're saying that whether the model overshot this particular value at $41.29 per square foot, I will not be able to say for sure whether it did or not. The number is there, it is 41.21. The comparables obviously are all below 40, so the average you mentioned was like around 27. So if you look at it that way, you can run that argument, obviously. However, I think the model is viewing this based on also things like year built. We can see that those comparables that are there are a bit older. Like, for example, 4 is 1963, 6 is 1981, 11 is 1994, and 12 is 1960. And subject property, as I have stated before, is 2008, so it's much newer, so less of a depreciation that goes into it.
Okay, so you have comparable number 9, which has 3,625 square feet, 3,172 rent, and it includes a store and car wash, and it is built in 2014. Would you say that that is more so a reflection of, would you say that is more comparable to our subject?
I would say so, but then you have to do the blended rates, right? So you have to use a total square footage and look at it that way.
Okay, so in that particular case, you are using a blended rate of 3,625, and that includes the C-store and the car wash?
Yes, and
Okay.
and the blended rate for this property, if you are to blend it, would be $26.26 per square foot.
Okay, so
Actually, no, sorry, I used the wrong number. Sorry.
It is 3,172, is it not?
Yeah.
That's blended.
Yeah.
Okay, so
26.79. That's blended rent for subject property. 26.79.
okay, and that is for a C-store and a car wash?
Yes.
Okay, so ours has a C-store and a car wash, and again, it's been assessed at 4129. So can you explain how the model has done that?
Yeah, basically, like if I am to use a blended rate for subject property, and that's what I said previously, the blended rate for subject property is $26.79, whereas the blended rate for comparable number 9 is $31.72. So I believe that the model is treating it quite properly.
I see what the model is doing. However, would you say that that is correct, that the model should be doing that to begin with? It is separating those two income streams, the car wash and the C-store, but the leases in most of these cases where we do see leases of these types of properties are including what's there. So the car wash, the C-store, the pumps, canopies, tanks, all of that is blended into the rent. So why would we, first of all, why would we split these up? If it is essentially one rent that's being noted in that lease rate.
Well, the lease rate is, when we look at it, if we split it up, if the way you suggest, the numbers would come out differently, but still probably be similar, because now we have to use because this number of, for example, comparable number 9, which arrives at $31.72 per square foot, is arrived based on total numbers that was collected there, and using just a leasable area of 3,625 square feet. Now, if we are to use, as you suggest, pumps and other costs, then we would have to recalculate the whole equation for it to work properly, right? Like right now, what you see is $31.72 per square foot is purely mathematical division of total rent by the area of improvements, which is car wash and the kiosk.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so that's basically like
that's what I wanted to know. Then let's move over to the capitalization rate, which is 5.35. So what is this capitalization rate based on? Is it based on retail properties? Is it based specifically on gas station sales? Can you comment on that?
Okay, so the cap rate that we are using is currently based on office section. So if you look on page 9 of my report, it's using, I guess, office section suburban and suburban B more precise, but they are the same, suburban A and suburban B. So, but I mean, they are the same in the context of 20th and 80th percentiles. That what we see on this report. So let's put it that way.
Based on what we have here, which I believe is essentially a retail property of some type, do you not think that a more appropriate capitalization rate would be one coming from say, the retail side rather than an office property?
Well, I guess we can look at it that way, and let's say we for the sake of the argument here, we scroll ourselves down and say, okay, retail properties are we have a cap rate of 20th and 80th percentile for and we're gonna probably call it a strip, for example. So 6 and 6.8, and it is slightly different. However, we have a lower 20th so basically we have the 20th percentile is slightly higher. However, 80th percentile is slightly lower. Is there a big difference between the two? One is yet to argue, right? The blended rate for subject property is 5.55, which falls below the 20th percentile in both cases.
Yeah. Okay, those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any questions, Jeff? You're muted, Jeff?
Yes, I'm muted. I apologize. I don't know that I do at this point. Thank you.
Okay, Carrie, do you have any questions?
I do. Thank you, Madam Chair. Arka, I just wanted to confirm your blended rate on this property. Did you say it's $26.79?
Yes.
Thank you. And just in regards to the cap rate, you have you were saying that the cap rate you used on your page, sorry, I think it's page 9, was the office. And the applicant is suggesting to look at retail, but is this something the city uses for gas stations? Is the office cap rate?
To my knowledge, that's what they're using. And just because particular properties fall within the area of the office section.
All right. I thank you. That's all my questions. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. I don't have any further questions. Mine have been answered. So please go ahead, Marcella.
Okay. Again, this is a newer gas station, 3357 Pembina Highway. It is a Red River Cooperative. If you turn to page 6, you can see some overhead pictures. So on the bottom of page 6, you'll see kind of a bird's eye view. So you can see the C-store and the car wash to the top. And the structure that is to the left is the canopy with the pumps. And then on page 7, you can see the outside pictures. I'll flip to page 12. That is our income and approach. So we have a set of comparables with an average of 1754. Now, we tried to be conscious of the effective age of the properties. So we tried to select properties that were similar in age. However, Mandalay Drive, while it's a newer property, it's also it's not the same type of C-store slash car wash property that these Red River Cooperatives or Shell Canada, those types of properties, not the same type of property. So the one that I will point to you is the last one, which is Sage Creek, which is a very similar property built in 2015, or has an effective age of 2015. And that one has a blended rate of 28.24 for 3644 square feet. Now it does have a car wash and a kiosk, and that is why we blended the rates. However, for our purposes, I have actually split them up in this case. So I've assigned a $28 per square foot rent for the C-store, which is 2,957 square feet. The other parameters are pretty much standard: vacancy allowance 2%, shortfall $6, and non-recoverables of 7%. Now on page 15, you can see our summary. And in terms of the capitalization rate, what I've done is, you can flip back to page 14 as well. So we submitted our retail capitalization rate report. And I'm sure some of you have probably heard the capitalization rate summary at this point, so late in the cycle. However, it's summarized in the retail cap rate chart that we have there. So for retail standard quality, where we've included the 5% non-recoverable, we have a range between 6.75 and 7.25. Where we don't include the 5% recoverable, it's from 7 to 7.5. In this case, I have included the 5% non-recoverable. So we have a range between 6.75. So it's at the top end of our range for standard quality. We don't think this is a top quality retail. Those would be your regional shopping centers, your community shopping centers, those types of properties. Retail standard quality, I think that is where a lot of the individual properties are that are retail based, but sitting essentially individually. So this, in our opinion, is a retail standard quality. So you can see there the parameters on page 15. So we are asking for an income valuation of $1,112,673. We have made the adjustment of $703,000, and that is a cost-based adjustment for the canopies, the pumps, and the tanks. So those are cost-based items. You can't rent those out effectively, so you have to put a cost on them. Now, on the next page, where you see page 16, you see that we have agreed to the car wash value of $382,000. So we've added that as well. So in summary, our total value for the C-store, plus the canopy, the pumps, and the tanks is $1,815,673. The car wash is valued at $382,000 for a combined value of $2,197,673. In the appendix, you'll see that we've included the income and expenses that they've supplied. Not really pertinent because only really expenses would be noted. However, lastly, what I will note is that the difference here is essentially the rent and the capitalization rate. So again, we are asking for a reduction to $2,197,673 or $2,198,000. And I am open for questions.
All right. Arca, do you have any questions for Marcelo?
Yeah. Yes, Marcelo, I actually was following your report, and my question is, in your report, you relied on index 7 of your comparables, which is Sage Creek gas station. Is that correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And the blended rate for that particular gas station, which would include both car wash and the kiosk, is $28.24. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But in turn, what you did is you separated in your income workup, you separated the car wash and the kiosk and applied some sort of a rate, I'm not sure where you got it from, to the kiosk, which is lower than what the city provides. And then yet you took the city's car wash value and just slapped it on top of it. Is that what you did?
Absolutely. And just to be clear about it, I don't see any way that a rent of $41 could be justified for the C-store.
No,
Given that the blended rents together are in the $30 neighborhood, $28 neighborhood, I applied a rent that I thought was appropriate for that location, and for that size of property. And there is not just that one. I mean, let's be clear, there are some comparisons in your own comparable report that actually suggest a lower rent on the C-store section.
Okay, yeah, but again, we're looking at this particular subject property does have a car wash and a C-store. Is that correct?
Right. So I could have,
thank you.
I could have blended this together and had a total rent around $28 per square foot.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that it would have made that much of a difference.
Yeah, no, I guess, yeah, like if you would have like used the blended rate, which in my opinion would have been more fair, and would you agree with me that the blended rate for comparable number 7 of $28.24 is actually higher than what city's blended rate for subject property at $26.79.
Right. So
yeah, so
if you bear with me, we can come up.
That was my questions, Marcelo.
Okay.
So yeah, so those are all my questions. Like city is still I guess yeah, so those are all my questions for now. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Carrie, do you have any questions?
My questions have been asked and answered. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Jeff, do you have any questions?
I don't. That was very good discussion. Thank you.
Okay. And I don't have any further questions, so I think we can move on to the last item on our docket, which is unless either one of you would like to summarize it all.
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm okay too. Thanks.
Okay. So number 7 is 3451 Pembina.
Okay.
Please go ahead, Mr. Assessor.
Okay, file number 223225. Applicant Altus Group Limited. Roll number 0303-166-0200. Address 3451 Pembina Highway. Owners Red River Cooperatives Limited. Roll year 2023. Reference date April 1st, 2021. Assessed value $993,000. Classification 60. Liability taxable. So this property, there is a recommendation forward. It's basically a vehicle a service garage and a retail store. And I bring for the recommendation here is $888,000.
$888,000. And what did you adjust to arrive at that recommendation, Marco?
Okay, I'm getting there. Just a second. I need to open up my workup for this. Okay, so so there is 2 income streams. So I'm using for like if you open up my page, yes, 5 and 7. So we'll start 6 and 7. Sorry. So we'll start with page 6. On page 6, I'm changing the rate from 1884 to 1650. And on page 7, I'm changing the rate of 1980 to 1855. So again, the first income stream arrives at a value of $588,000, and the second income stream arrives at a value of $300,000. Combined $888,000.
Sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to repeat those, please. The first income stream is the total of
888. Oh, first income stream $588,000.
$588,000, and the second income stream is
$300,000.
$300,000. Okay, Marcella, how do you feel about that?
I'm good with that. Thank you.
You're good with that?
Yeah.
All right. Panel, do you have any questions? Either one of
You have none.
I
You're
have
good?
no questions. Thank you.
Okay, and I have no questions. So I think this brings us to the end. Thank you very much, gentlemen. That was an excellent hearing.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
We have heard all the items scheduled, and this hearing is now adjourned. Have a good weekend.
A good weekend, everyone. Thank you.